Trucker TV rolls right at you this November the 16th with a look-see at a new device aimed at keeping you on the road rather than all over the road. And we'll show you a traffic system that's keeping crowded freeways flowing smoothly. And we'll see how a battle between conservationists and business interests have sidelined drivers in the Northwest. Good evening. I'm Fred Sanders. Welcome to Trucker TV. It's a question of jobs versus a rare animal tonight in Oregon, and some of the jobs belong to truckers. The animal in question is the spotted owl, and that's where the conflict comes in. Trucker TV's Elliot Ecke reports loggers do believe in conservation, but don't give a spotted owl's hoot for bureaucrats or armchair environmentalists.
And Trucker TV reporters Fred Sanders and Kate Sullivan are covering the event in New Orleans where several key issues on the trucking industry are being discussed. This is their report.
Here we are, the third day of the ATA convention. We are in the exhibit hall where trucking industry officials have been packing in to see what's new, Fred.
Well, everybody's coming over for lunch today. Today is the last day of the exhibitions, but the meetings continue at the ATA, and of course politics, big part of the story of who's going to win, Clinton or Bush, and what it's going to mean to the trucking industry, and of course we'll have full and ongoing coverage of that whole situation here on Trucker TV.
Just this morning I spoke with the Russian representative, the Russian equal to the president of the ATA. If you ever want to feel good about America's trucking industry and America's truckers, talk to someone from a foreign country. Trucking is the lifeblood of this country. Our economy depends heavily on it. Without trucking and truckers, a country is in chaos. Just ask Yuri Sukin, president of Russia's Trucking Association. Mikhail Nizov is his interpreter. They say the trucking system is in shambles.
And if you speak about compare between Russian drivers and North American drivers, our drivers, they have much more difficulties in the job because logistics doesn't exist in our country in such level what you have. And our goal is for next future to develop logistic questions.
Sukin is in New Orleans asking U.S. trucking officials for advice on perestroika, bringing Russia's economy and the trucking system into the 20th century. He says he's hearing that drivers are key.
Driver is the main important part because driver, and especially in international trucking business, he's staying along with this cargo. And he is not driver like a driver. He is representative of the trucking company, and he can bring his part to success of this company.
Because Russia is so large, a cross-country driver can be on the road for months, and his pay is very low.
If we will speak about expenses per mile, the wage of the drivers is twice less than you have here in U.S.
Mr. Sukin spoke with some truckers from Washington State, and he was very impressed with our American truckers. He calls them solid boys who represent the country well.
Yeah, I can hear it on the CB now, guys. All of a sudden it's going to be, hey, how about you there, solid boy? Could change the way we do business in America.
Right.
You know, Kate, this year at the ATA convention, and I've done a lot of ATA conventions in my life, people are more upbeat about the economy. I think that the industry people feel better, especially the manufacturers, people like the engine companies, the truck manufacturers, and the tire companies. And usually that's good news for you, the driver, because it means the economy is coming up. And I know all you guys are looking for loads and want to make more money, want the rates to go up. We've got more news coming up on that as we cover the ATA convention here in New Orleans.
In New Orleans, all right. From here, back to you.
Okay, good job.
Mike, do you miss being in the middle of what's going on in the trucking industry?
What I really miss is the fact that it seems that there aren't too many people out there that are going to bat for the trucker, and that's why I'm getting back in it full force.
Mike, you were remembered for the trucker shutdowns of the late 70s and early 80s.
Well, there were 3 nationwide truckers shutdowns, not strikes, because they were primarily independent truckers.
Mike, a lot of people back then referred to you as the Jimmy Hoffa of the independent truckers.
Well, I don't know who would want to insult me that much, although Jimmy Hoffa did do a lot of good for a lot of truckers for a long time. Unfortunately, he tarnished his image and, as a result, tarnished the image of a lot of truckers and the trucking industry, and that's a shame.
What do you see as the plight of the independent owner-operator today?
Virtually the same as it has been. They still have the same problems. Unfortunately, the fact that the states are attacking the entire trucking industry as well as the independent trucker has been swept under the rug. And so if federal taxes don't go up at the same rate as state taxes, it seems that nobody cares. But the states have cracked down in many instances, such as in California, where a trucker can pay $1,000 for a speeding fine.
Do you think deregulation has helped or hurt the independent owner-operator?
Trucker TV correspondent Fred Sanders is here to explore it with some experts. Fred.
Thank you, Bill. And I do have two experts here. Joining me are Chuck Hurley of the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and also Jim Johnston, who's president of the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association. And I want to lead off with Jim. Does your organization support radar detectors?
Let me say that we're opposed to a radar detector ban. First of all, because it discriminates substantially against independent truckers and truckers in general. We have enforcement activity that focuses on just the trucking industry, when the trucking industry, truck drivers are probably the safest operator on the road. Second, we have some problems with the tremendous waste of resources that will be involved in enforcing such a ban. We think that there can certainly be a much better use for those resources. It could amount to as much as $100 million a year just to enforce the ban.
Well, Chuck, I want to ask you this. You brought up the thing about, Jim said discriminating against truckers. And of course, the push is on by the Federal Highway Traffic Safety Administrations to eliminate, and by a lot of states, to eliminate radar detectors in big trucks. Why just truckers? Why not everybody?
Well, first off, there are a lot of good truckers, and our fight is not with them. We do support a ban on radar detectors in trucks for a number of reasons. Our data from 23 states indicate that a majority, not 35%, but a majority of trucks in interstate traffic are not only have but are using radar detectors.
Jim, hold that thought. We're going to take a break here and pay a bill. We will continue our talk about radar detectors. I think you see we will continue that talk right here on Trucker TV right after this. Carl Spring joins us now with a look at the weather and road conditions throughout the eastern part of the country. And Carl, got a hat for you. I know how you love those trucker hats.
Cool.
This is from Mr. Pelican at the Pelican Truck Stop in Laurel, Montana, and his Locomotive Inn and Casino.
Well,
which
let's
is,
see that there. Locomotive Inn Casino. Laurel, now, where is Laurel in Montana?
That's right
Fred?
next to Billings.
Oh, okay.
The Pelican Truck Stop. It's Frank Pelican who owns it. All the truckers know the Pelican Truck Stop, no question about it.
Cool.
And the pink matches your eyes.
Oh, thank you. You're sitting too close, you can see the pink in my eyes. All right, Gary, so watch out for the fog out there. Guys, what's next?
Hey, Mike Forrest joins us now with a star-studded list of losers and the final story of an all-time winner.
Actually, a bunch of winners.
Nice.
And the only person I know who has anything like that is Carl Spring. He has a duplicate of that motorhome.
Yeah, it's red.
I don't think so. It's
Wrong.
probably, but his is only a 3-speed though, right?
Not 15 speed.
All right, that wraps up this edition of Trucker TV. I'm going to go out for a little cup of coffee. You should too. Bill Boggs will be at the wheel when we return in just a couple of minutes with the news, the weather, the traffic, and sports tailored just for you. Stay tuned, won't you?